moving on to page 15, I'd like for you to take a moment and try to match capital A, B, C, and D with lowercase a, B, C, and D. You can see I've matched the bottom graphs with the scenarios listed. I knew that B and D were going to have negative slope because of the words repay a loan and depreciates. I knew that B went with lowercase a because the loan started at $200 and would decrease from there. For letter D, I knew that this would be the correct graph because it was purchased for $750, the starting point, and depreciate $100 per year. For B and C, I knew the difference between these two because $12.50 is what the employee receives per hour, plus $2 for each unit produced per hour. And then again, lowercase c, $30 is the starting point, $30 per day, increasing from there. This next thing is a review from Algebra 1. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And then if you are given 2 points, you find the slope and then use point slope form. Here's some quick examples to remind you how to do these, A, B, and C. If you want to write an equation of a line that has this description, then I'm going to use point slope form because I have a slope and a point. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. To simplify, I'm going to distribute y plus 3 equals negative 4x plus 20. Then I'm going to move the 3 to the other side. Y equals negative 4x plus 17. For lowercase b, I have the slope and the y-intercept. Here at the top, it says if you have the slope and the y-intercept, just use slope-intercept form. So I'm going to substitute 1/5 in for the slope and positive 4 in for the y-intercept. That's the answer to letter B. For letter C, we're going to follow what it says here, given 2 points. So the first thing we'll do is find the slope. If you don't remember, the formula for slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. 6 minus 12 is negative 6. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. 4/6, they have a common factor of 2. So my answer would be 2/3. That's my slope. Then I take this slope and this first point and use point slope form. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus 6 equals 2/3 x, and it's going to be subtract 24 over 3. 2 over 3 times 12 over 1 is 24 over 3, which is 8. Add 6 to both sides. My answer is going to be y equals 2/3 x minus 2. If you will, please look in your textbook to find the definitions that they have for these two. We're not going to use this correlation coefficient. We're just going to refer to that as our slope. A line of fit and a line of best fit, those are very similar in definition. We're just going to find a line that fits our data. How do you find a line that fits your data? Let's look on the next page. Finding a line of fit, you follow these steps here, so if you'll make sure to read those. Our first examples that we're going to do, they've actually already given us the line of fit with the 2 data points, and we're going to find those equations. I would like for you to go ahead and do what we just did on a previous example. Take these 2 points and find the equation of the line that passes through each of those 2 points, and I'll come back and show you the answers. Here are the answers to questions 1 through 3. I have found the slope of these 2 points. This is the way I'd like for you to do these problems. Then I use point slope form, distributed 1/10. 1/10 times 0 is 0. Added 50 to both sides and got this equation. This is the equation of the line of fit for this data. For this one, I found the slope to be -60, used point slope form, and found the equation for that line. And then for number 3, I found the slope, I found the equation for the line. Now we need to interpret the slope. What does 1/10 mean in terms of this problem? 1/10, rise over run. Remember that. Your slope is rise over run. Your rise is your y, your run is your x. Your y is the cost in dollars, so $1. Your run is your number of text sent, so 10 texts. For this one, rise over run, first of all, we're decreasing. The distance is decreasing over time. And rise is distance and run is time. So 60 miles in 1 hour, because that's 60 over 1. My distance is decreasing 60 miles every hour. And I'll write those things in on this paper in a moment. The next one, rise over run. Your homework grade will increase 1% for every 1 assignment completed. Rise 1, run 1. We have one more problem to do. If you will read that problem, and then we'll talk about it. Here are the statements that I wrote for the slope. For every 10 text sent, the cost is $1. The distance decreases 60 miles every hour. The math homework grade increases 1% for every assignment completed. The last question for this week's lessons is this word problem. We're talking about a parking garage in Chicago. The equation for the parking garage in Chicago is here. Y is the cost in dollars for every hour that your car is parked in the parking garage. Here is a table of values for a parking garage in Denver. We need to figure out the slope and an equation for this particular problem. So we're going to find the slope here first. This is for Denver. The slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and I just chose these 2 ordered pairs. y2 minus y1 is 8 over 1, so the slope is 8. Then y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Distribute. Add 43 to both sides. Y is going to equal 8x plus 27. I think that's correct. So that is an equation for Denver. First of all, it says which parking garage charges more per hour Hours is represented by X. How much does this Denver parking garage charge per hour compared to how much does the parking garage in Chicago charge per hour? Hopefully you can see that Chicago charges $15 per hour, Denver charges $8 per hour, and which parking garage charges more per hour? That would be Chicago. So Chicago's parking garage charges, and how much more? $7 more per hour than Denver. So that's one answer to this problem. And it says, after how many hours would parking in both cities cost the same? The cost for Chicago is represented here. The cost for Denver is represented here. How can we demonstrate where both of these would be the same? Hopefully you know that means that you're going to take 15x plus 20 and set it equal to 8x plus 27. When we solve for x, we are going to find after how many hours would it cost the same in each parking garage. So I subtracted 8x from both sides. Next I will subtract 20. 7x will equal 7. Divide by 7. X is equal to 1. So my other answer here is after 1 hour, the cost to park in each garage will be the same. That's it. Thank you.